Alright everyone, we made it. 2 games, 2 movies, and 5 years of waiting have all led up to this. Early June, we got our first look at Sonic Frontiers on the Sonic the Hedgehog channel, and it was a teaser trailer for something coming up, an IGN first. Throughout the month of June, IGN would be giving us looks at everything Sonic Frontiers, including gameplay, interviews, and impressions. This was it. This was a time for Sonic fans to be happy, Sonic Frontiers would please everyone, and it all went downhill from there. But back into the end of June, and Sonic Frontiers started to pick itself back up again with new trailers, impressions rolling in. All the impressions seemed to be really positive. Could Sonic Frontiers be making a comeback? Today, I'll be talking about all that and more, so stay tuned. Before we get to that, I'd like to say that I'm really grateful for all the support I've received on this platform, and I'm really happy to make videos for y'all, and I'm about to start making a lot more now that it's summer, so if you could just subscribe, it would really help. We're getting super close to 500, and that would be an awesome milestone to reach. So, thanks, and now onto your video. So there we were, heading into June. On June 7th, we would be receiving the first piece of 7 minutes of IGN gameplay from Sonic Frontiers. This was set to be it, Sonic's big return. After years of long droughts with no games, no news, nothing, we were finally set to find out what Sonic Frontiers was all about. Going into the IGN premiere, expectations were high, everyone was hopeful, and as those 7 minutes rolled by, the world was shocked at what they saw. Sonic Frontiers had massively disappointed, at least in its first showing. There were so many things that people didn't like, and some even expanded from the teaser footage like the rails, as well as that new issues joined in. There was plenty of pop-in, the game looked really rough, and it also looked slow. And the trick animations were unfinished, everything was just not coming up good. Delay Sonic Frontiers started trending on Twitter, as well as another hashtag releasing a Sonic Frontiers demo. Lots of big YouTubers joined in, and everyone was just piling on Frontiers day after day. And all we could do was wait until the next showcase. And then we received just that, the Sonic Frontiers IGN Combat Showcase, running a bit shorter than the free roam gameplay. This one would showcase all the combat moves that Sonic could do. And it was later revealed in an interview that the core of this game was 3D action, so the combat is very important to this game. I myself have never really enjoyed the combat in Sonic games like Heroes and Unleashed, and I really hope that they do well here in Frontiers, because that seems to be what this game is hinging on. Following that, we got a series of interviews with Iizuka and Kishimoto, talking about the direction of Frontiers and the Sonic series heading forward, which included a lot of people getting excited when Iizuka talked about Adventure. And then, the big one. We finally got our hands on some impressions of Sonic Frontiers. IGN would upload their impressions of the game to their channel on June 7th, 2022, and this is what helped a lot of people get on board with Frontiers, as the IGN employee who played the game previously had finally described his experience, and it was surprisingly really positive, even quoting Crush 40 with Opening Your Heart. Everyone was really on board with this, and it seemed like Sonic Frontiers was turning itself around a bit. The IGN employee gave a lot of information about the structure of Frontiers, and a few other neat little details, including confirming that the footage we saw was from an early build of the game, which definitely helped alleviate a lot of problems. And this is where a big issue of mine personally comes in. I don't know why they would show an early build of Frontiers and show it off this much. Like, it's fine for a little action-packed teaser like we got there, but 7 minutes of gameplay from an early build is just not going to look good. This is how they wanted to show off their big flashy new Sonic game? Yeah, that isn't good, and it definitely hurt this game a lot in its marketing. The marketing Frontiers has just been pretty bad all around, considering how negative the reception has been. And then IGN first went silent for a bit as we waited Summer Game Fest. You see, the Sonic fanbase was confident that Frontiers would be at Summer Game Fest because Sonic Frontiers have been heavily featured in the trailers and marketing around Summer Game Fest. We were expecting to see new story trailers or new gameplay, anything to make the game look good, as it had been on an upward spiral recently. So, what did we get at Summer Game Fest? We got nothing at Summer Game Fest.
You lose!
But not to worry, because right after Summer Game Fest, there was a Summer Game Fest event called Playdays. Sort of like E3 demos back in the day, but right now, people who got selected, or who are mainly influencers, could play games early, and one of the games available to play was Sonic Frontiers. So throughout this time, We got 140p clips of Sonic Frontiers online through people who had been at Summer Game Fest Playdays. And through it, we started to see something that some people really didn't like. Sonic Frontiers was seemingly showing off that it was reusing cyberspace levels. And this was even more complicated by Zippo releasing a leak saying that every single level in Frontiers was reused straight from Generations, and almost no changes were made. People were fuming. We didn't want to see reused levels again and again, and it's always the same ones: Green Hill, Chemical Plant, Sky Sanctuary. Now this trend was started by Generations, and Generations is my favorite Sonic game, but admittedly, even at this point, it is a little bit tiring to see that we're still getting the same locations brought back. I'm okay with locations being brought back, but I just want them to be new ones each time, like the Death Egg was for Sonic Forces. Like, I would absolutely kill to see some storybook levels remastered like Camlet Castle. That would be amazing. And I finally want to see another snow level brought back, like maybe Cool Edge. Luckily for me and others as well, we got a ton of new information, including the confirmation that levels were being reused after this, because as soon as the review embargo lifted, people were piling on their impressions of Sonic Frontiers, and they were massively positive. Like, there were only a few reviews that were negative, and one of them didn't even get to play the game, and talked about the whole video about how they barfed on themselves flying there. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but that was weird. Anyway, moving on. Frontiers seemed to have made a big splash, people even saying that it could be Game of the Year for sure. And right as IGN First was about to wrap up, we got a new Sonic Frontiers trailer courtesy of the Nintendo Direct. And this was huge for many reasons. Not only were we getting a trailer from a competent marketing team, but we were finally getting the reveal of those long-rumored cyberspace levels. And it was hype. Not only did we get to know how Sonic Frontiers would run on Switch, which is not very well, but that's expected, we also finally got the reveal of a bit new CGI and the cyberspace levels. Now, the cyberspace levels look really good. I'm a huge fan of this new Highway City level, which also disproves the Zippo leak that every level is just from Generations. There look to be plenty of alternate paths, and it looks really fun. But unfortunately, that was kind of overshadowed by Green Hill Zone returning, and it was confirmed that yeah, we're getting reused levels. But as I said before, it doesn't really bother me. I think as long as the level design is good, I'll probably enjoy it. And that's where we are now with Sonic Frontiers. It's been a crazy month, and a crazy ride to go along with it, and seemingly it's only gonna get better from here. Or worse, depending on what happens. But one thing's for sure, Sonic Frontiers is coming, and it's coming soon. So that was June. It was a very crazy ride, and we were just going along with it, going through the motions. There were ups, there were downs, but Sonic Frontiers is certainly looking to be interesting. We don't know if Frontiers is going to be good or bad. All we can do is just wait, get more information, which is seemingly coming soon because Frontiers is going to be at Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show. Everywhere is getting new Frontiers news, and we'll be along with it. I'll probably make another retrospective after the end of July, when we get all the Frontiers news then. So, I'll see you guys then. And now, I'm going to give my opinion on the Sonic Frontiers. You know, one thing that's crazy is that Sonic Frontiers is the first Sonic game that I'm coherent enough of a Sonic fan, well, first mainline Sonic game at least, that I'm coherent enough of a Sonic fan to be excited for the pre-release of. If you're not counting Origins and Sonic Colors Ultimate, that is. And it's certainly been a crazy time, but I'm actually really looking forward to Frontiers. I think that at the very least, it'll be alright. There's a few things that they could do to mess up the experience, sure, but this game is looking like a lot of what I want from a Sonic game. I want exciting, fast-paced fun action, and the combat for once looks pretty decent. It looks fast and flashy. It's probably not going to be DMC, but it still looks really fun, and I can't wait to try out all these moves that Sonic can do. A lot of these ideas are really good, and I just hope that they implement them well. And as for the cyberspace levels, well, I'm always down for a boost game. I really enjoy those, as I do prefer this style to adventure, but still, I'm okay with anything they throw at us, as long as the level design's good. And one more thing, right as I finish this video, some news came up that apparently Sonic Frontiers is 80% of the way through development. Now this is very interesting, because as I'm assuming the last 20% of development is bug fixing, animations, and all the polish up left to do. And that's very interesting, because I do think that they can finish polishing up the game in that time. This source came from an article that I'll link down below, and if they're 80% finished with the game, I think that's a pretty decent place to be at right now, as long as they could finish up the work. However, one thing I definitely don't like is the fact that they've sort of admitted that they're trying to crunch to meet the deadline on this game, and that's not good. Crunch culture should never be, appropriated, and I don't think it's very good. But yeah, those are all my thoughts on Sonic Frontiers and everything that happened during the month of June. I've covered it all in this video, and now you know my thoughts on Frontiers. I'm going to be away for a bit, 3 days, so I won't be posting for the next 5 or so days. So, I'll see you guys then. That's it for me, Daviron, signing off.